not sign off the copyright on it.
This particular session that we have kept, the idea is that we inform you what is the philosophy of our group. Right? So if I talk about my institution, why I am saying my institution, because my association with Jaipuria is pretty old, and I joined here in 2007. So I've seen this institution growing, and that is why I always have that kind of ownership associated with it, and I would say it's my institution. So Jaipuria in education is not very new. We started our journey in 1945 when we had our first college in Calcutta, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he inaugurated that particular college. After that, we opened, and basically our group is mainly into management education. That is our forte, and so we started with Jaipuria Lucknow in 1990. Which year? 92. 92? No. 95, right. So that is the oldest institution in terms of PGDM programs. After that we started with Jaipuria Noida, and it was in 2004, and after that it was Jaipur 2006, and the youngest one, or you can say the brightest spot in the the whole 4 campuses is Indore campus, right? So the idea behind having 4 campuses was that when we talk about all these institutions, they have their own USPs, yet at the same time common philosophies that we follow. So when we talk about these institutions, like if I talk about Indore, it is completely residential. When we talk about Jaipur, we wanted that in Rajasthan itself, we should bring quality education, right? And hence, those particular students should also get the feeler of what Jaipuria is all about. When we started with Noida, the idea was to be situated in hub, where most of the companies, they have their own offices, and Lucknow, probably this is where even we have Jaipuria schools, right? So from there we started with our schools also. So that is why probably Lucknow was chosen, though I was not at that time part of the group, right? So basically this is what the history is all about us in education. If I talk about certain milestones that we have achieved, for us, rankings are not very, very important. Why I say? Because rankings keep on fluctuating. So sometimes you are at 9, sometimes you are at 7, and probably they don't indicate much to students. So how we ensure quality education, that is the question. Like how we tell these students that quality is what we are promising. So we decided that we will be completing all the accreditation processes that are there in India. And that is why when we talk about our accreditations, these are the 4 campuses. So if I talk about Lucknow campus, it is accredited by NAAC, right? And if I talk about in Noida, accredited by NAAC, both Lucknow as well as Noida both have got A grade. So that is where you can see that the quality is what we are promising. Then if I talk about all the 3 programs which Noida campus is running, so initially the PGDM program was AIU approved. Now all the 3 programs that we are running, PGDM Services Management, PGDM Marketing, they are AIU approved, right? When we talk about Jaipur, Jaipur is also AIU recognized. When we talk about Indore, why we have not, you don't see any accreditation, because accreditation requires some kind of stipulated time period. After that only you can apply. So as soon as that time period is complete, we would be applying for that accreditation processes also. The rest of the rankings you can all see, and I think they indicate that as a group we are performing every year better and better. Now, if I talk about what are the highlights probably I should not follow simple presentation, and I should be telling you what is my experience, what I have seen, the unique thing about Jaipuria. When I talk about Jaipuria, I think has tried to deliver customized, education. Because if we look at a lot of these schools, there are a lot of things which are common. Like everybody talks about infrastructure, everybody talks about top faculty, everybody talks about summer internship, everybody is talking about placements. So how you are different from others? That is the question. So if you look at the whole system, you will find that wherever there was a possibility, we have tried to innovate, we have tried to bring customization for you. Like when we talk about the whole academic life here, which you spend, Jaipuria has done a lot of changes. Every year we are revamping our courses. Like last year only, when we got the feedback from the industry regarding our marketing specialization, that everybody is teaching MM1, MM2. So how you are different? So what we have done away with is that now in MM2 we do not have classroom teaching, and MM1, this is where we deliver classroom teaching, and in MM2 it is all field study. So we allocate you different companies, you go there, you actually whatever you have learned in MM1, now you have to practically do it and demonstrate in front of the industry experts. They are going to see your marketing plans, they are going to give you feedback whether you have whatever you have understood that can be implemented or not, right? So this is what is the whole idea in terms of academics. Similarly, we are going to do these things for other specializations also. If I talk about academic life again, then mentoring is claimed by a lot of institutions. They say we have a mentoring program, but if you read the reports which are submitted by NAC and AIU, they all say this is one of the best practices. Why? Because I think the way Jaipuria Group has organized it, nobody can claim that kind of thing. Like in mentoring, we normally have 6. Now, number of students that is allocated to one faculty is 6, right? And this is across all 4 campuses. But whatever I'm saying, that is from Noida campus experience. So when these 6 students are allocated to a faculty, they stay with the faculty till they are placed. Even after they are placed, the relationship continues, right? So that means there is somebody who can actually monitor how you are performing, whether if suppose you have a confusion regarding certain decisions that you take while choosing the companies, while choosing your summer internship, whether you are applying for live projects or not, whether some kind of live projects will be beneficial for the career path that you have decided for yourself. So there is somebody who can actually help you out. Yes, rest of the faculty you can also approach, that is not a problem, but there is at least one dedicated faculty, as well as you have some dedicated slots where you can meet the faculty. So the faculty even even if they are busy, they always spare some time for you, and you can go and meet. Similarly, when I talk about the industry visits, how they are different, because everybody or anybody can take you to Parle-G, Mother Dairy. So how this particular learning experience is different. When we talk about here, we do organize those kind of industry visits also, where you send in bulk 2 buses going to one particular industry and you visit that plant. But what about the learning? How that particular thing is ensured in terms of learning? Here, along with that, we also send you in smaller groups. Like when you go in your specializations, I belong to international business specialization. So we took students to ICD Loni, because there the group was smaller. It was only 20-25 students, those who were going for that industry visit. We asked them to prepare the list of questions that are supposed to be asked in that visit. Then the faculty is with you, and they are actually asking you to submit whatever you have learned. So in terms of assignments or some kind of related project, they can ask you to develop whatever is your understanding through industry visit. It looks simple, but when it comes to implementation, I tell you that in a smaller group and when it is focused learning, the results are pretty good. Similarly, what about the overall, extracurricular activities that we ask students to do. So if you look at our students, those who are sitting there, why they are sitting, because we started with admission itself. We have a student council, and that student council has partnership in all the departments that we have, whether it is placements, whether it is admission. And the idea was that in admission, the information should reach the prospective candidate in a more transparent manner. And normally our CAPIs are also on working days, so that you can meet our students and you can actually judge whatever whatever we are saying that is good enough or not, and hence you get the first-hand feedback. Because the kind of students that we want to attract to Jaipuria, basically, we want, you have a lot of schools here, a lot of these schools, and they give you degree, they give you placements also. You just throw your money and you can get it very easily. But here we want those students, those who are very, very serious for their career, and they actually want that we should do some kind of value addition to their career. So that is why these students, they are in admission placements. So that means every student should be part of one particular non-academic activity or a club. So you can take your domain, the functional specializations that you all are thinking, like finance, marketing, HR. So HR club, right? So some events have happened, so all these buildings are there. So clubs in terms of your functional specialization, and then in terms of your non-academics interest, like if you are part of dramatics, if you are part of music, you can. Here we have all sort of facilities we try to create. We have drumming facility and sports also. So all these interests you can pursue further, right? So I think that is very, very important, because each student has to be part of 2 clubs, and according to his interest, he normally gets the chance to anchor the event, to organize the events. And similarly, when we talk about live projects, Supriya ma'am, is she there? Yeah. Okay. In 2014, I remember the data for Noida campus. It was almost 167 live projects that we have offered to Noida campus students only. Similarly, we have offered it in Lucknow, Indore, and Jaipur, right? So the placement cell is continuously trying to bring live projects in the campus, and hence you can get that kind of exposure if you are serious enough. Similarly, to field visits, live projects, we do also offer some kind of minor projects that you do along with your subject teachers. So you have publication facilities also. Like this is one of the important the feature. We have asked our faculty to motivate our students to go out and participate in different events. Like I told you, the mentoring, like in my mentoring group, I have asked my students to publish papers with me. So recently one of my students, he has published one paper and he's going to present in an international conference. So that is what is the focus of the institute, that you should be developing overall, and there has to be a change in the personality. Supriya, do you remember, I've quoted that for Noida we have, last year we offered almost 167 live projects. So this year, any update on live projects?
I do not have the number till date right now, but if you want, we can get Narayan and he will be able to know.
Yes, so for the current batch, you can always ask from the placement cell. We can invite him for this. Now, when we talk about the faculty strength overall, so this is what the data says. We have 55 plus visiting faculty and more than 95 plus permanent faculty. And I think this is what is unique about Jaipuria Group. As a faculty, this is what I can tell you. There are a lot of institutions where, mostly the academics are run by visiting faculties. We believe in permanent faculty because at least for each course there has to be somebody to support you. And that is why such a big, vast pool of faculty is hired by Jaipuria Group. Now, Taking advantage of this particular faculty group, we have also started faculty exchange program. So across our 4 campuses, if we feel that there is somebody who is doing very good in IT, or there is one faculty who is very good in Indore, so we can invite him to Noida campus. Somebody doing good in Noida can be invited to Indore. So this is how the faculty exchange programs happen, and similar is the case with the student exchange programs. You can also go and do your trimester at one of our campuses, right? Along with the international, international exchange programs that are being offered to you. Recently, at Noida campus itself, we have 5 students visiting from New Zealand CPIT. That's the latest, exchange program that we are offering. Our students have already gone 2 months back, and now it is their turn that they have come to our campus. So that you can go and meet them also. Now, Supriya will be taking care of the placement part, but yes, more than 300 plus companies, they normally recruit from Jaipuria Group. So probably the numbers of companies coming to campus or being part of our placement process, that is not a big problem for us. This number is growing continuously, and we have more than 3,900 plus alumni is working in different organizations. And now if you go on our Facebook page only, on 23rd January we had our all campus meet. So it is not only that you have alumni meets associated with each campus, we have also designed such kind of events and activities where you can interact with other alumni of other groups, so that you have a benefit of wider range of networking, right? So this is what is the idea, that somewhere these 4 institutions, they work in a synergistic manner, so that you have resources which are available for 4 institutions and not just one particular campus. Similarly, when it comes to organizing the efforts that we have these 4 things that are part of our philosophy. We have on-campus philosophy. So in terms of admission, you are already you can participate for any campus at any particular campus. For other campuses also, we have on-campus curriculum. So how we design that? That means if suppose I'm an economics faculty and economics syllabus has to be designed. So it is not just Noida campus alone will design their own syllabus. That particular syllabus has to be combined together with other 3 campuses, Lucknow, Indore, and Jaipur. We all sit together. So in my area there are almost 7 to 8 faculties. We sit together, we design our curriculum, and then we give advice to each other, and then accordingly we design it. Similarly, that particular syllabus is also vetted by industry experts as well as academic experts. So that is why I told you that in Jaipuria curriculum is every year we try to update it and we try to customize it according to the industry needs. When I was talking about MM2, there is also one more addition which we have done on the feedback of faculty, industry. They say that this particular generation is not a very good newspaper reader, right? So they will ask us to keep a paper, full 3-credit course paper, and where you can force everybody to read newspaper. So now we distribute Mint to all our students, and they have to every midterm and end term they have a quiz which we call general affairs and current affairs quiz, and they are marked on that. So it is compulsory. It is part of your curriculum that you have to be updated. Similarly, when it comes to on-campus experience, like suppose if one particular campus is organizing any management festival or international conference, so the other 3 campuses, they normally nominate their students, so that at least you have that kind of flavor. Otherwise, if you are only part of one particular campus, you have just one management festival, one international conference. These are basic things which are provided at each campus. But when you combine the pool of activities, you have 4 campuses, so you have 4 international conferences where you go and participate, and it's your own campus, and hence you have that kind of empowerment that yes, your participation is ensured. Similarly, on-campus placements is also one of the important feature, because what we realize that normally the grass is greener on the other side. You always feel, oh, that campus has better companies, better placements, no matter how much better your campus is doing. So what we decided is that if suppose a company is coming and you fulfill all the prerequisites of that placement process, you can also participate. And hence, so suppose if some companies are coming to Lucknow or Noida or Jaipur or Indore, any student who qualifies for that particular company and go and participate in that placement process, the idea is that the opportunity should be equal to anybody who deserves it, right? So that is the prerequisite. So I think that this particular portion will be taken care by any other thing which I am forgetting? Any other question that is coming to your mind? Yes, I'm not talking about the specializations, which is where normally we get a lot of questions. Across all the 4 program, 4 campuses, if I talk about these specific programs that we run, Lucknow campus offers PGDM Financial Services, PGDM Retail Management. When it comes to Noida campus, I've already talked about PGDM Services Management, PGDM Marketing and PGDM General Program. Jaipur and Indore both offer PGDM, right? So now the question is that which program is better? So the betterment depends upon the choices that you want to make for your career, because all these 4 programs we have designed in such a way that you have dual specialization, right? So when it comes to dual specialization, till date, what is the procedure that you are supposed to at least appear in 12 courses, right? So suppose if I want to do specialization in marketing, then first of all I can choose PGDM marketing only as a course, right? That means this is one program which is designed specifically for marketing professionals. But still, there are a lot of students, those who are not very well focused in first year, that we want to go for marketing only. So by the first term or the first year ends itself, you decide that okay, I want to take marketing and finance, right? I want to learn 1 or 2 or 3 papers for finance, but yes, my core area would be marketing. So these dual specializations, they give you that flexibility. You can take the combination of 7 or 5. So that means 7 papers from marketing, 5 papers from finance. You can keep them equal, 6 paper from marketing, 6 paper from finance, right? So this is how dual specialization helps you, because it brings flexibility. Similarly, like I've chosen a course, PGDM marketing. But I decide, there are a lot of students, those who realize after 1 year, especially girls, they say, oh, I wanted to take HR. So HR as a specialization is also available in PGDM marketing, right? So that opportunity is not taken away from you, that if at the time of admission you were not very clear, and hence we close that door for you that, oh, now you have taken PGDM marketing, you cannot be a HR professional. Right? So, but yes, of course, you have to justify it to the industry. The choices have to be justified to the industry. You have to show that passion, that yes, these choices that I have made, it is out of passion. It is out of passion for that particular subject. Right? Similarly, when it comes to financial services and retail management, there also this particular flexibility is there. Right? So in retail also, finance as a specialization can be taken. Similarly, in financial services, marketing can be taken as a specialization, right? So that is what is the concept of dual specialization. And dual specialization also takes care of the industry volatility, which probably the institutions cannot control. Like in 2008, when recession came, nobody has actually predicted it, and almost the effect of that particular crisis was seen till 2011, There were a lot of institutions which were facing problems in placing students in core HR, core finance. So that is why dual specialization helps you. At least you can survive if something happens to the country in terms of external factors affecting it, because these things an institution cannot take care. So dual specialization offers you that minimum guarantee that at least you will be having one offer with you. If you fulfill all the requirements, at least you have one offer when you pass out from the institution, right? So from here, I think I will request Supriya ma'am to come and tell you the details of placements, and after that we can continue chatting with each other.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, I would like to say good morning to all of you, okay? And the fact that, once the camera pans over all of you, you make sure you smile like we had discussed, okay? Not in agreement, okay? So, one thing that I would like to emphasize upon, and as Professor Ritika has already stated that, okay? One thing which I, as a part of this institute, which I dearly hold close to my heart, is the fact that we are very innovative in our approach. Whether it is innovating upon the curriculum or giving you more exposure in the industry in the form of live projects or MM2 projects, the key word here is innovation. Now, because we are looking at making sure that innovation also becomes a part of everything that we here do as a part of your life, our students are very well recognized in the industry. The curriculum that we have, the all year throughout training that you get, the exposure that you get through live projects ensures that you develop that level of acumen when it comes to whether it is your domain, business, or for that matter, skills that you require for the industry. And because it is that year-long practice or 2-year-long practice that is undertaken to ensure that all of you develop holistically, you do have a lot of opportunities that is placed at literally at your doorstep. So again, looking at the fact, when we were looking at the various recruiters who come, these are some of our prominent recruiters. And we have 300 plus recruiters who come overall for all the 4 campuses. So innovation, something that is unique, the on-campus approach that we have, wherein we look at one unique delivery is not just in terms of curriculum updation or the specialization that we're offering. We're also looking at ensuring that each and every student in each and every campuses that we have, all the 4 campuses, has an opportunity to apply for any of the companies that come in either of the campuses. That integrated placement approach is what also makes us very unique. And we have been able to get the top names in the industry. The fact that we have big names, whether it is from the automobile or manufacturing industry, from FMCG consumer durables, from banking, from research, KPO consulting. To name a few, we have Havells, we have Hindware, we have Asian Paints, Berger Paints, we have LG, we have Nestle, we have Axis Bank, ICICI, HDFC, or we also have eValueServe, we have Deloitte, we have KPMG. All of these big names come to hire from Jaipuria. And the fact that it is one unique delivery process, the innovation that we have in terms of the on-campus approach, these companies would be conducting the placement process in either of the campuses, and each and every student from either of the campuses would be eligible to apply. And that is innovation. That is giving you opportunity, not just restricting you to one campus, which would be Noida or Lucknow or Jaipur or Indore. Now coming to the fact that every campus would say that they give you placement opportunities, right? I mean, I'm sure you've done your due diligence in finding out which campus should I go for. So every B school would say that we have placements. They would also quote the top names. Another unique thing, we just don't provide you opportunities with the top names. We also ensure that we prepare you to be able to crack the opportunities with the top names. So we don't follow any shortcuts. Whether it is your curriculum, your domain knowledge, your classroom. I mean, you have students sitting here, ask them, There are no shortcuts when it comes to tasks and assignments that are given. You have to undertake projects. You are a part of a lot of clubs and committees. So tomorrow when you're sitting in the interview and they ask you what is one of your biggest strengths and you say, one of my biggest strengths is I'm a multitasker. You're just not saying it. You have lived it for at least 1.5 years here in the campus. Because not just curriculum, even as a part of the placement clubs and committees, you will be responsible and you will be given a lot of tasks and activities to handle, along with juggling all your tasks and assignments which are there in the campus. Added to that, you will have PDC sessions that will be undertaken all year throughout, preparing you for all the other soft skills aspects for which you would need training. So whether it is presentation, interview, GD, PI, everything. Now again, that is something you would have seen happening. So another part of innovation. When we have a placement process that is about to happen, you have a company that is going to come for hiring. There are certain company-specific sessions also undertaken to help you understand what the company will be expecting from you. So whether it is knowledge about the company, what would be some frequently asked questions pertaining to this particular company, and how should you handle questions when it comes to company-specific knowledge. So company-specific training is also undertaken. But then again, before we even reach the personal interview or the interview process for a company, Jaipuri as a whole prepares you as an individual who will be placeable candidates tomorrow. So you also have activities that are undertaken in terms of individual development programs, wherein you will be exposed to a panel interview with an industry specialist. So though it is a mock interview, you get to interact with an industry specialist who will be able to give you insight in terms of what are the things that you need to undertake to improve upon your knowledge. And this is coupled with the fact that you are going to be reading the newspaper throughout because we made it a mandate. So there's so many things that are done even from a placement and training perspective, and this is completely separate from what is actually happening from an curriculum and syllabus perspective. So all of it put together, we are really going to be working hard to make sure that you are one of the people who cracks one of the opportunities given by one of the top recruiters who come to the campus. On an average, our placements, our package has gone up to 5.68 lakhs per annum. The highest that we have gone is 14 lakhs per annum. But when you have packages that are so high, we make sure that you're prepared for it. But at the end of the day, we also want to tell you one thing. There's one thing that you must stand up for, and that is ownership. Because you will have an area of opportunities literally provided to you. You will have to take the ownership of ensuring that you definitely turn up for everything. So whether it is training sessions, whether it's just projects and assignments, anything that has been given to you, you must take up the responsibility of making sure that you undertake those tasks and activities. So that tomorrow, when you're sitting in the interview and you say, I am a proactive person, you're just not saying it. You practically lived it. And these are just placements that I'm talking about. Again, giving you more exposure to the industry, you will be having summer internship programs that will be undertaken, apart from a lot of live projects that will also be undertaken for you to get an understanding of the working of the industry. You will also understand from a different perspective how the industry actually works. So you will know that if I'm standing in one of the big departmental stores, and all I have to do is to make sure that the visual merchandising of that store is absolutely appropriate. You get to understand from the ground level perspective and not from a customer perspective. That could be the level of exposure that you can gain. We recently had students come back from a live project, okay, and they were supposed to go to one of the big convenience stores and get a basic understanding of different areas. Very basic. But again, that level of understanding, you need to have that tomorrow if you want to be managing or working as an area manager for such a big name. So that tomorrow if you're asked a question during your interview process, what are some of the challenges that you see in terms of handling a team? You are well equipped with the answer. So training and placement works together hand in hand, and I take care of training for everything that you will be going through in terms of your PDC and company specific trainings and mock GDPIs. I take care of the entire part of training along with the placement team, which is again consisting of 2 people. Okay, and any other question that you have in terms of placements can be easily addressed. So I've given you a little whiff of what exactly placements is all about and what is it that we do to make sure you're prepared for such high level of placements. And you get varied profiles. So you will have a profile for a sales officer, you can have a profile for a financial analyst, you can have a profile for a research analyst, or you can have a profile which could be something as simple as quality and risk management. Even though I say simple, I don't mean simple in terms of what kind of quality and risk management we may be required to do. And adding to that, because you will have dual specialization, it will allow you to diversify your choices in terms of where is it that you would want to see yourself placed and starting your career. So what are the questions that you have when it comes to placements?
Please feel free. The recording is on, it's for us. Like,
yeah, we should feel scared.
We should be feeling scared, not you.
Or maybe you want to be on camera. We could do that. You know, highlight on your face the moment you ask a question.
And I think we have always, the admission team, we have tried that you should get transparency in terms of admission process, so that when you come here, there are less mismatch between your expectations and what we deliver, and that is why all these things, they have become part and parcel of our process. Even in your panels, you can ask faculty if you, at that time something comes to your mind. Take an informed decision. That is what we want.
But what was the least package that was offered, lowest package offered?
See, every year, I would not like to answer it in terms of a number. Why in terms of number? Because it gives you a very different kind of picture. Normally the policy says we will not offer less than 4. Right? It has to be minimum 4, then only we invite a company to the campus, and that till that point we negotiate. But suppose if there can be certain students, those who are not serious, they don't prepare well, and if they appear and you don't, you actually don't clear the process and you don't have any offer, then probably we would like to go below 4 also. To be very honest, because we want that at least you are placed and then you are leaving the campus. But yes, the condition says that we cannot invite a company if it is offering less than 4. But it also depends upon the profile.
There are also minimum benchmarks that we place beyond which we generally would not invite a company. Okay, so if they are not meeting our CTC expectations, we generally would not roll out such an offer. That is again keeping in mind that our students obviously are deserving candidates. Yet, there may be some who are not able to crack such opportunities, and a lower package opportunity may be offered specifically to them, but even then we follow a minimum benchmark. We would not just let them go at any package. So we are very strict when it comes to those standards.
And when it comes to CTC or the package, this is, as a faculty, that is what is my understanding. Suppose if there is one brand which is coming, like suppose if we say Tata Motors is coming, right? And they say that in training period we will offer you less, but after joining we will offer you this package. So for us, the profile, the brand, and after that salary comes, right? Because that is more important, that they are taking our students as entity. So So that is why this kind of variation you can see. But yes, this I can ensure that if some company has offered us 4 last year, this year they should be offering us 5, it should not be less than that. That is what is the minimum benchmark that we
Generally,
follow.
that is the trend. And but yes, as ma'am said, there are a lot of big names that do come in, with which people or all of you would generally want association more than salary. We have a lot of students who actually come back and say, "Okay, can you get that company?" Salary would not be an issue then, because we just want to be a part of such a big brand. So even then, though we are very stringent on our benchmarks, we would like to look as to what is the level of CTC that they are generally offering. So just as an example, again, when I pick what ma'am said, Tata Motors, they would not go beyond a particular figure that they will be quoting, because they would also want to give something that is going to be matching the brand name and brand value. But yes, you do have students or you do have aspirants who want to be part of a particular brand, and sometimes they don't keep salary as a bar. So they're okay joining a big name at a lower package as well. But generally such companies would not offer below the benchmark of what we keep. So that is there. So ऐसा नहीं है that you have a package which is 1 and that is quoted out by the company and we accept such a company to come on board. No, that doesn't happen. We have, and I know personally because I'm part of the training and placement team, we have said no to a lot of companies because they were not meeting a minimum benchmark criteria.
And see, this is also one of the unique thing about Jaipuria. All the 4 campuses, they have their separate placement cell. Along with that, we have a combined CRC, which is negotiating for the group, not for the individual campus. So that makes the difference. When you have such kind of organized efforts and integrated efforts. At all 4 campuses individually they try, some separate kind of companies can come, as well as the CRC try for us.
Also coming up with the fact that we have come up with the placement week initiative. So with each campus that we have a placement week that happens. We had one in Noida in October, then we had one in Lucknow in November, then we had one which happened in Jaipur recently, and in Indore it happened in December. So we have such initiatives that have also been brought forward by the placement team to ensure that we have maximum number of opportunities present within a week's time as well for all the students in one particular campus. However, that doesn't mean that opportunities beyond the placement weeks do not happen. That also happens, but it's again giving you maximum exposure to maximum number of opportunities within a limited time period.
See, frankly, as a faculty, if you ask me, why there is such a variation in the package, it's not because of institution, it's all because of preparation of the student. You have to, like suppose there is a scale of 1 to 10. So you yourself rate that whether I am on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Depending upon that, more value add you do in this 1.5 year, better packages you will get. Because even the companies, they are looking for good candidates, and that is where, we all say we are a young nation, we have such a huge resources, but when it comes to skills that are required at the industry, you must have seen these kind of news paper cuttings also, where industry has said that we don't have right kind of people, right? So that is what even industry is looking for. So there are certain skill levels that you all should try, whether it is multitasking, whether it comes to flexibility also. Like a lot of students, they have this kind of imaginations. Like when I compare HR and marketing, a marketing person would always be in the field, right? His life is going to be very, very tough. He's going to interact with strangers, be there in rain, high temperatures or extreme temperature conditions. Even in the interior parts of India, he has to perform. You are an HR person recruited. As a fresher, you want that I should become HR manager, managing 1,000 people. There is a problem in this understanding. If you are getting a job which is, I'm not saying it is less challenging, but in terms of physical or manual labor that is required in this kind of job, or the hardships that are required, they are less than the other profile. So obviously, if somebody would hire a fresher in HR department, he would pay you less because he is training you for that particular thing. And only after 1 year or 2 years, you will be getting the same package what a marketing person has got as a fresher. Because when he joined, on the very first day, he has been given targets. And if he doesn't perform, he's thrown out in 3 months. You have got full 1 year to learn, sit, and have that kind of feeling that, okay, I'm learning and hence I can perform after 1 year. That leverage is not given to some other profile, and that is why these differences are there. So when you actually assess the placement opportunity, you have to be very, very realistic in your assessment. What profile I want, what brand I want, whether that particular brand is giving me breathing space to survive for 1 year when I'm learning the processes. And after that, if that company is not paying, you can always complain. You can always say, oh, this was not worth it. Any other question? We have our first year students also.
I have a question.
Yes.
Apart from placements, how do you promote entrepreneurship?
Very good, very nice question, because this was one thing which even I forgot to touch upon. There are so many things sometimes, when we are actually presenting, we should have the checklist. Okay, I've talked about this. In Noida campus itself, and Indore, Jaipur, Lucknow, we all are promoting the same philosophy. We have our own e-cell. Like in Noida campus, I can talk about, we have this philosophy that more and more campus companies should be promoted. That is what is our philosophy, right? Last year only we have launched 4 campus companies. This year also I think 5 companies have been launched, which are supported by the college with some kind of seed money as well as different kind of opportunities. We have tie-ups with NISBERT and NSIC also. And we offer courses which are related to entrepreneurship, as well as this e-cell. We invite various entrepreneurs to our campus for even venture capitalists. So that is how we are promoting entrepreneurship. And a lot of our students, they have started, like one of my mentees, he has started export-oriented unit in Jaipur. Right, so this is what I can say. Maybe later on, or maybe at the time of the college only, they all start planning. So we plan competitions as well as inter-college competitions you can participate. And if you have an idea, then we have certain entrepreneurs, those who are in resource list. So they help you to assess your business plan and then put it in the functional form.
And added to that, there are certain things which are already in the pipeline in terms of ideation center, incubation centers, wherein we are trying to see how we can get industry specialists to come into an idea validation seminar or a workshop. That is something that's in the pipeline. It is currently under development. So initiation will happen. So just that answers your question in terms of what are the things that we're doing to promote entrepreneurship.
Yeah, we do not have an incubation cell because there is also one more problem in that. You are staying with us only for 1.5 years. When you are in engineering, you stay almost for 3 years, right? 4 years. So that's a pretty good time to actually ideate and then implement. In PGDM, you have lesser time. So that is why probably having a full-fledged incubation center was a problem. But we do have a center of entrepreneurship at Noida campus, which promotes entrepreneurship in our institution. So in terms of seminars and ideation, we have a lot of interventions that are organized by e-cell from time to time. Like if I remember correctly, I think 1 month back only, we have one event which was organized by e-cell where we have invited our alumni, those who have started their own companies. Right, so they came and they shared how they have implemented, what resources they have organized, whether they are doing well or not. And that particular event was well appreciated because it was like coming from the people, those who are involved in it. Similarly, next month in February, since Noida campus has an association with NEN, and similarly all the other 3 campuses also have, we are participating in EB. Noida campus as well as Jaipur campus, both they are in the merit list of NEN. If you look at their, we are the winners. Like Noida campus won this trophy in 2011. We are the smallest in terms of size. We won the champions trophy there. Last year we won the merit award, both Jaipur and Noida campus. So this is what are the efforts that we are putting in to promote entrepreneurship. And I think people those who have clear-cut plans for starting their own companies, they are most invited. Even similarly, I think Indore campus has also a lot of programs which are promoting. They have a program called CHISEL, which takes care, which actually associates you to an entrepreneur. You work with him, and then this is how you take up a full project. You solve their problems, you implement it, and then you get the feedback. Okay, whether this particular thing is working or not. So that way, yeah.
Okay.
Any other? This side, no question? Then CPIT, I told you this is the latest one that we have added. We have already organized one international conference with this Thailand university. And similarly, that is what is the target. I think every 3 months or 4th month, Jaipur is adding one particular international English to the list. Right? So these are the our international linkages that we have. Okay, so